Yeah, welcome to the Front Porch Podcast. My name's Brandon.
My name's Nick.
As you can see, we're not actually on the front porch this time. That's because one, it's just too much to set up outside. Two, there's like crickets and shit, people driving by. And I know it's called the Front Porch Podcast, so don't give us shit for that.
Exactly. But I think it is going to be a little bit of a better setup doing it this way. It's a little bit more controlled. You know, we don't have cars passing by potentially, messing up audio, all that type of stuff.
Yeah, so if things mess up, I mean, this is our second podcast, so things are bound to go wrong, audio problems, visual problems, whatever, shit like that. But for the most part, this is going to be our setup. If things change, we'll move different locations. But one day, if we have like 1 million subscribers, you know, we can do our own setup and actually do like a set. And I was thinking like almost like, you ever been to a Cracker Barrel?
Oh yeah, many times.
Like outside of a Cracker Barrel, right? We'll have like, it'll be a set. It won't be a real porch, but we'll like make it look in the background. We'll have like fake windows and shit. We'll sit on some fucking recliners, not rocking chairs.
Rocking chairs, yeah.
Heck yeah, dude.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah, that'd be great. And then, of course, with better equipment, more funding, we're going to be able to, do a lot more. We're going to be able to talk about a lot more runtime with the podcast. And it's going to help us out a lot. So.
Oh yeah, 100%. So today we're going to talk about the election aftermath, shit like that. But before we get in, do you watch TV with subtitles?
So I tend not to, just because when I have the subtitles on, a lot of times I tend to look at the subtitles more than what's actually happening on screen, especially if something new pops up, they're talking, and a subtitle appears. I'm probably going to look more to the subtitles than what's actually happening on screen. So it takes away from actually viewing the content.
Yeah, I mean, it really captures your attention, like with all the subtitles popping up, which is funny because it's like, I used to not watch anything with subtitles. I hated it. It was annoying. Like, I get the idea of subtitles. It's important for people that have like disabilities and shit. But I was like, I'm not going to watch something. I'm not trying to read while I'm watching. Like, if I want to read, I'll go read a book. But when I started dating Samantha, she watches shit with subtitles, and that's what really got me into it. And I was thinking about it the other day, and I was like, it's weird because you go from doing one thing, and then all of a sudden, like a switch hits, and you start doing it, and like I gotta watch shit with subtitles now.
Yeah, and then if you're used to it, then you're used to it, and it's gonna be more natural for you to do it that way. I've been watching stuff without subtitles, so putting on subtitles, it's definitely different. And my eyes tend to go just like I said, my eyes tend to go to watching the subtitles more than what's actually happening on screen.
Yeah. Also, what's funny is I've been watching I just have regular TV on in my room, and it's funny because like on like regular TV, it censors the curse words. I never understood. Maybe somebody can tell me. I could probably look it up, but if somebody wants to comment down below, I never understood why it censors the word asshole like this. They say the word ass, but they censor hole.
That's so weird. So now it just says ass.
Yeah, so it's like it makes no sense.
Yeah, and it's funny too because at the gym that I go to, of course, I have an audio from the TV, so it's all subtitles, and the subtitles are all like jibble jarble. You can't even understand what's going on because their CCs are so bad. So
yeah. So that was just like a random conversation. I was like thinking, let's do a warm-up conversation so you get to know us a little better.
Yeah.
Like I gotta watch shit with subtitles now. Like, and Nick obviously doesn't.
And I guess I'm probably gonna have to start watching it now just so I can get with I'm trying with Brandon.
But let's talk about. Hey, first off, I gotta say, Daddy Trump's back.
He's back. He's back and better than ever. So, and I think we had great turnout this year. I think I was saying in the last podcast, the first one, that we had amazing turnout when it came to the voters, early voting, in-person voting, all the rallies that Trump did. I think that the movement definitely grew, and you can definitely see it since we swept all 7 swing states and battleground states. I think Trump did amazing this year.
Dude, we swept all of the battleground states. Like this video, if that blows your absolute mind.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
absolutely insane. We were watching it. Nick was here on election night, and we watched it until the end. We made sure.
Yeah, we made sure nothing weird was going on with it, that we didn't have, 100,000 ballot drops at 3:30 in the morning like it was in 2020. So
Now they're asking, like, where did the 20 million Democrat voters go? Well, first off, you got to think. I saw a diagram the other day that showed like all of the elections in like previous years and now, and it was like every Democrat had like 60 something million votes.
yeah.
Same with Kamala. She's at like 70 something. I think it's still going up. It was like 70 something now.
Yeah, I believe so. Let me actually get to.
But Biden is at like 80 million.
Yeah, it was
jumped to 80 million. I think that had a lot to do with COVID.
And I saw a lot too, especially since because of COVID with the mail-in ballot stuff that was going on. You saw way more votes than any of the prior years beforehand. I saw an image, and it was the last several elections. It was usually around 120, 125. And then the 2016 election was 129 million votes. And then 2020, you see it's 155 million votes. And then now we're back to, I think, 129, 130 million votes with this election. So it's like, what actually happened in 2020 where we had that many votes coming in? Interesting to think about.
So if you don't know, I have another YouTube channel called The Real Brandon Hall. That's my gaming channel. And so I'm saying that because I'm interested in gaming. And if you are, a fun fact is, I was thinking about it the other day, more people have watched the GTA 6 trailer than people have voted.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy.
I thought that was pretty cool. But yeah, it's absolutely insane. Where did those votes come from for Joe Biden in 2020? Did 20 million extra people really come out and vote, or was it the fucking mail-in shit?
It had to be. And, we even saw, confirmed Social Security numbers that were assigned to people who were deceased at the time were voting. Mm-hmm. And, I think that this election cycle, they did a great job with making sure the ballots were counted correctly, and any falsified documents were not counted. I think that was one of the biggest things going through the Supreme Courts and the state courts, all that type of stuff. And I think it made this election a lot fairer. And I think that you can see that Trump had an amazing turnout.
Yeah, 312 to 226 looks like the final number after, was it Nevada and Arizona that was taken?
Nevada, Arizona. And what's crazy is that when we were watching it live on election night, we were also on the New York Times' election needle. And I mean, even from the very beginning, it was leaning Trump. It went to lean, likely, and then very likely. And that started around, 10:30. And I don't even think that Kamala Harris' votes ever caught up with the Electoral College votes from Trump. It was just a huge red wave.
It was, dude. It was an absolute landslide. I remember when you guys first got here, it was like 23-3, something like that. And in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, he's ahead right now, but I'm thinking, like, dude, I thought this was going to be a much closer race. And I thought a lot of people predicted that too. I think they expected it to be a much like head-to-head, like who's going to cross the finish line. Like it was going to be like hairline, but Trump just stayed ahead the entire time.
Yeah, and that's what a lot of these polls were saying, that Kamala Harris and Trump were going to be neck and neck this entire time. It was going to be a toss-up in the end, but it never, ever got that close. Trump was always ahead, and I think that it stands a testament to just his policies, his Make America Great Again, going forward with that. I think we're going to have a very prosperous next 4 years.
Yeah, 100%. And the problem is they kicked Joe Biden out of the race, and then like 5 or 6 months before election day, they throw in Kamala Harris. Like everyone knows who Joe Biden is. He's been in politics for 50 years. Kamala Harris, who's she? Right?
She just started popping up at least to big media outlets just before the last election, really. That's when she was coming out. She's been, California, and of course California is mostly all Democrats. But her policies there were very, very liberal, very radical, locking up people left and right. One of the things I wanted to talk about is that press conference or speech that she made where she kept talking about, oh, with the swipe of my pen, I could put someone away. I can make them go to jail, all that stuff. Like she was just joking about putting people in jail. And that was definitely a very scary thing to see from someone who wants to be the leader of the free world.
Yeah, it's also interesting that coming from someone who is like really taking care of people in jail when it comes to like the gender transitioning. Like, oh, you're in jail, we'll fund your gender transition. Which to me just sounds absolutely fucking bananas. I have no idea why that was ever even brought up. I don't even know why that's even a thing. Like, why is so? For her to just like say, yeah, we'll just by the swipe of a pen, I'll throw you in jail. Like, who wants that to be president?
Yeah, and it comes from the same person that wants America to be more woke and wants us to, as a nation, go more radical, no more Marxist. I mean, that's the way that she was, her policies were going. And I'm thanking God every day that she did not win this election.
Dude, me too. That was a crazy night. It was really a crazy night, but when Trump was just staying ahead, I was like, I think he's got it, and I think this is going to be a good turnout.
I think that the momentum from when we were watching it live, I think that everyone could see the momentum was Trump from the very beginning. I mean, even at like 11 o'clock at night, you saw the Democrat watch parties for Kamala Harris. They were all starting to leave. They were starting to get angry, starting to get pissed. They started throwing trash on the ground. I mean, they left some of those areas, those Democrat watch parties, like an absolute mess.
Oh yeah. You see the aftermath. People just, they did not care one bit with their trash and shit. But it that night really gave me a 2016 flashback. I felt I can't remember it clear as day, but if I can recall correctly, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the same thing happened. I don't think Hillary Clinton did a speech. I think she remained silent too.
She did. She did not come out of her little hiding hole. And Kamala Harris did the same exact thing, and she actually sent a surrogate. Oh, we did have a little accident.
A little accident.
But we did have a little surrogate that Kamala Harris put out to pretty much tell people that Kamala Harris was not coming out tonight. And what was he saying? He was saying that we still have votes to count. We still have this. We still have that. But pretty much at the end of it, it was telling people to go home because Kamala has lost.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Kamala lost, and an absolute landslide. I just could not be any happier because the economy is my number one main concern. Listen, we have people on the left and right, and then you have extreme people on the left and right. Both sides, right? But I think the left takes it a little too far. Now, there is one guy on the right. I don't know if you know who he is or if anyone watching knows who he is. His name's Nick Fuentes. I have no idea how to say his name, but he's an extreme right guy. He has a shirt on Amazon, of all places, that says, "Your body, my choice." I think that's completely wrong. I have no intentions of controlling people's bodies as a male or just as a person in general. Like, if you want to do something with your body, that should be your choice. You're a human being. We have free will, and you should be able to do what you want. So that just, to me, listen, I'm not an extreme right guy. Okay. I'm like just every other American that's on the right, and we just want a good economy. Like, I don't care what you do with your body. I really don't. If you want an abortion, like, I'm sorry if it didn't get passed in your state, or if you want that, I'm sorry, but you can do it, but I don't care.
Yeah, I think that it gives Trump's big thing is he wants the abortion rights, all that, to go back to the states, so that each state declares what they can do for abortion, what's the terms that it can be at, the weeks, whatever it is. But I too think that when you go more along the lines of what Mr. Fuentes is saying there, it's actually taking away more rights when Republicans and conservatives, they want to give you more rights instead of taking it away. So when you go towards that far right or far left, you start seeing more rights being taken away. More controlling is not good. Like you said, we're all human beings. We all have the right to our free will and what we want to do, especially as a couple. We want to make sure that we make decisions together as a couple and not, oh, I'm going to make this decision for you because I think it's what's best for you. That's not right.
Yeah. So it says he's a far-right political pundit and live streamer who promotes white supremacy.
Yeah.
So I do not condone that shit one bit. Like, I am not on that level at all. And there are people that are there, and then there's people on the far left that are absolutely crazy, like this guy here. If you want to talk about him, Minnesota man kills his 2 sons and his wife. He's anti-Trump. He killed his family basically because, let's see, which is just, to me, is absolutely despicable. Killed his website's just not loading. Technical difficulties, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go to ABC News. Do we really want to read from ABC News?
Let's see. I'm pulling it up on my end.
I don't know. Let's see.
I have the New York Post up on this one over here.
He had a pattern of mental health issues, so that's to be expected. But apparently it's because they're not saying anything about it on ABC, obviously. They're just saying it's mental health issues. The reason is because Trump was elected, and he didn't want to go through 4 years of a Trump presidency so he ended up killing his family, his 2 sons and his wife, and then himself. I think that's the most despicable shit somebody can fucking do.
Well, I think it just shows you that there are people on the left that do have very serious mental conditions. And it looks like he was anti-Christ as well, from what the New York Post is saying. Anti-Christian values. Looks like I have a quote here. It says, "I am terrified of religious zealots inflicting their misguided beliefs on me and my family. I have intrusive thoughts of being burned at the stake as a witch or crucified on a burning cross." I mean, this is from a man that should be in a mental asylum because of the way that he's thinking. To have him be in our, just walking around as a normal person, that is very scary thought.
Dude, what the hell happened to insane asylums? I'm a big fan of, I watch Ghost Adventures and a lot of ghost hunting shit. Everywhere they go, not everywhere, but a lot of places, it's like abandoned mental hospitals or hospitals in general, and they're abandoned. It's like, dude, why do we not have these places up and running? Because we have people like this living out in the world. Dude, you didn't have to kill yourself, your family, and yourself because Trump was elected. Is really going to affect 4 years of your life that much? Was it really that bad in 2016 to 2020? I was fine. I think now it really sucks, but
I think it's like, as a human being, what is the flip that you have that a couple days ago you could have been going out to family, like a dinner family meeting or a movie, and now a couple days later you have this mental flip and you just start killing your family and then you kill yourself. I mean, it's like, what goes through that person's mind at that time? It's insane.
I think, the people that have been posting themselves on social media after Trump was elected, the left, the meltdowns, like, first of all, why are you posting yourself on the internet? You're just embarrassing yourself. This one chick just yelling, ah, ah, ah. And it's just like, dude, first of all, why are you posting yourself? That to me is already like extreme, like mental health crisis. And then you have this level of like this guy. Look at this picture of this guy.
Oh yeah.
He already looks like he wants to.
Oh yeah. The picture that we're looking at is
and I'll show it.
Is supposedly the suspect in this that killed his family and then killed himself. This must be his wife potentially, and he's like pulling on her hair aggressively, and just a weird pose. It's not a normal picture that you'll see from a couple. So
Definitely not. Even if it was like a silly photo shoot. Is that another picture of them? Here's a picture of their family. I don't know. I think that's his two sons right there. Him in the middle.
yeah.
I don't know. I can't tell. Is the guy on the left a chick or a dude?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
And that's the thing. Now you'll see that with a lot of these people now. And I was listening to a Charlie Kirk short a couple days ago, and I guess we can go and kind of flow into this now. That this is the gayest generation of people coming in. 1 in 5 male adults are gay in this generation, and it just shows you that our values now have gone down to the point where weak men create hard times create strong men create good times. So we're in that kind of transition from weak men create hard times, and that's where we're at right now.
Yeah, 100%. I think it's scary to think about from a natural standpoint, because as humans, biologically, we are male and female, and we are meant to reproduce with the opposite sex. And so from a natural standpoint, I think we are going to be our own demise. So many people are transitioning, so many people are gay. I have no problem with that. But when they start trying to push their ideologies on other people and successfully convince them, where they otherwise would have never done this, then you're starting to change the biology of human nature. And if everybody became gay, there's going to be no babies. I'm sorry if you hear background noise, but it's a podcast. It's not a Marvel movie where we have to, be quiet on set. So other people live here. But just from a natural standpoint, we're going to be our own demise when it comes to human extinction, because we're not going to repopulate.
Yeah, and I've worked, with gay people before, and a lot of them are very nice, very kind people. They're not going to inflict anything on.
It's just the people. It's the extremists.
Yes, it's the extremists, and the extremist ones you're going to see them on social media. Being just very out there. They want people to be gay. They want people to transition. I believe that we touched this in the last podcast, or it could have been when we were just talking, but the schools now, that they want the kids now to transition, and they're now the federal government, if the Democrats got in, they were going to pay for their transition when they were just a kid, when the human brain is not fully developed until 25 years old. But these kids, they say they can make their own decision on what gender they want to be at 8 years old. It's insane. It's demonic.
It really is. So I think, dude, there is a reason, and I may have mentioned this on the last podcast too, but there is a reason Donald Trump's life was spared on both occasions. He got shot in the ear in Butler, Pennsylvania, and then at his golf course in Mar-a-Lago. He got shot at, he didn't get hit, but that could have potentially been a fatal incident. Luckily, thank God it wasn't, but his life was spared twice. Because I think, not to get too religious here, but God is on our side. We are one nation under God. And when the devil hears something like that, and I'm not trying to preach, or if you aren't religious, I'm sorry, but you just got to look at it from a logical point of view. When you start preaching, this is one nation under God, we are a faithful country, we love God, the devil doesn't like that. So his foot starts coming in through the door, and who is it? It's the Democrats. It's the people that want to change our way of life and get God out of the picture, because they want to take control and spread their ideologies and their, like you said, it's demonic. It really is. A kid, an 8-year-old, should not be worried about sex. An 8-year-old, when I was 8, I was playing fucking cars on GameCube.
Yeah, and kids should be kids. They should be doing kids things. I don't care what you have your kids do. Play video games, go outside, have a fun time, play sports, do recreational activities. They should not be worried about what gender they want to be. If they want to be gay, lesbian, pansexual. I mean, there's so much stuff out there now that's just we did not have when we were in high school, when we were kids, that even if you said anything like that, you'd get bullied in school. I mean, it's and now, I don't want to say bring back bullying, but a lot of these kids now, they never been bullied in school, and they want to they're pussies now. They are, and the parents are not being parents. I was just out today with my girl, and there's this mom that's running around. We're getting Starbucks coffee for herself, and she has 3 kids with her, and she's looking at her phone the whole time, not watching her kids at all. Her kids are running around, not being looked at, not like, hey, stop doing that. I mean, they were crawling all over the floor, and the mom is just keeps looking at her phone. She got a Starbucks drink for herself, but then nothing for her kids. Didn't even ask her kids if they wanted anything.
Yeah, what the heck, Mom? I want a fucking cappuccino. I want a frappe. It's just like when I was a kid, and this is something I talked to you not too long ago about, but when I was a kid, I would put on my mom's high heels. I liked the way they sounded on the tile floor. It wasn't because, like, if I, thank God I had conservative parents. I still have, I lost my dad when I was 8, but my mom, conservative. Thank God she is, and she has been her whole life, because if I was a kid growing up now and she was a far leftist and I put those high heels on, I'd be afraid of my nether regions.
Yeah.
I'd be like, Mom, I'm not putting it on because I want to be a girl. I like the click clack sound. Kids do things. Kids put on high heels. Kids, it is what it is.
Yeah, kids will be kids, but now if like you were saying, if a left-leaning liberal parent may have seen that, they're like, oh well, my kid wants to be a girl, and then goes to the transition side. So it's crazy that everything has swung to that extreme now, and it's a very telltale side of hopefully what's not to come going into this now, since now Trump is going to be the 47th president of the United States. Thank God. We need to have Republicans now in office more and more and more. I was listening to a Dan Bongino podcast going home the other night from the gym, and he keeps talking about, we won now, but we need to win more and win more. We never can stop winning, because if we stop winning and the Democrats get back in, everything comes back. We lose all of our momentum. All of the things that we've done to make America great again is going to go right down the drain.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. It's just we have to keep winning. We have to win big now. We have to win big in midterms. Get a Republican governor in these states again. We have Ron DeSantis right now. We live in Florida, so that's great. Kick Tim Walz out of Minnesota, which makes perfect sense because this guy is from Minnesota, the guy that killed himself and his family. So Tim Walz, you're doing a great job, man.
Well, this is the one that wants to be friends with school shooters. Yeah. So I mean, it's right there.
Yeah, it really is, bro. And it's just, we have to take control. So midterms is a big one. Make sure you get out and vote for midterms, vote for your governor. In 2028, hopefully, I would love to see one of the Trump kids run. If not, J.D. Vance. I can't wait to see J.D. Vance and how he performs as a vice president. It's just going to be a great 4 years. And I unfortunately, this guy, they're not going to be able to see that. Like, was 2016, it just keeps bringing me back to that point. Was 2016 to 2020 really that bad? Like, what? For me, financially, it was great. But that's the problem. Not everybody looks at it financially. People look at it with the human rights thing. And so it's just, it shouldn't have come to the point of.
I think the biggest thing now is we need to have, and podcasts like this will help. I think that voters need to be informed. If they are informed, they become informed voters, which makes them more likely to vote for a good choice instead of a bad choice. If you have an uninformed voter, what's going to happen is you're going to vote for the person that you just don't like. You're not going to vote for the person that I like their policies, I like their economic plan. You're not going to vote for that. You're just going to vote for the person that you just don't like. And then you're not going to know anything policy-wise, economic-wise about the person that you are voting for, which is a very bad case, because you saw that with Kamala Harris, where people on the streets, they didn't know anything about Kamala's policies, about her economic plan, but they just hated Trump, and that is why they wanted to vote for Kamala.
Yeah, exactly. 100% hit the nail on the head with that. So, yeah, just because what the guy that killed himself and his family just brought me to the idea of, why don't you just leave the country? If you can't financially, well, that's because Joe Biden's president, first off. So the economy sucks, so you probably didn't have money, but there's still other options. Like, you can illegally leave the country. You can, go somewhere. Like, we have a bunch of illegal immigrants flooding in here, so if you want to head over to Mexico, you could have, or Canada.
Well, then they'll just detain you. In Mexico, you go to Mexico illegally, they're just going to detain you.
It's better than being dead.
And yeah, I guess so. And then you'll be in jail for about 10 years, because that's their policy. So, and going into illegal immigrants, stuff like that, we let them in. And let's say, because I saw a Charlie Kirk podcast not too long ago, and he was saying that illegal border crossings are at an all-time high, which they are. But what's happening is that the Joe Biden administration, Kamala, she's the border czar at that point in time, they were allowing them through the ports of entry instead of through the actual southern border, which kind of skewed the data from the southern border, because you technically saw less people coming in from the southern border, but we still had an influx of illegal immigrants. So her way around that was putting all these illegals through the ports of entry instead of through the southern border.
Sneaky. So speaking of like leaving the country, we've got like Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce, Kim Kardashian, Tom Hanks is a big one, Oprah, Bryan Cranston, Hillary Clinton. They're all saying they're going to leave because they all said that same thing in 2016.
Said in 2016, none of them left.
They didn't leave. So if it's really going to affect you that bad, which it's not, it's really going to be a good 4 years for America. Like Trump said, it's going to be the golden age of America. There's already pretty much like going into the Trump effect, basically. There's already world peace starting. We have a Hamas calling for the war to end. We have Vladimir Putin saying he's ready to talk with America.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
And it was several months ago as well. There was an interview in Russia with Putin with local news stations there, and he did say that if Trump did win, he would put forth an effort to make peace. And I think that he will capitalize on that. I think that that's going to be good for his people, Ukraine, to have a war that's been going on for, it's been about a year and a half now, something like that. Yeah. I think it'll be good for all those countries over there, for our country, for these wars to finally stop. And the Trump effect is definitely working with Hamas, trying to get in contact with Trump, Putin getting in contact with Trump, Ukraine getting in contact with Trump, and trying to stop these wars. And I think that that's going to be a big talking point of the 47th president's term.
Which just shows you how much control and power Donald Trump has. Because you don't see Putin saying, I'm ready to talk to America with Joe Biden as president. We are the laughingstock of the world right now. They didn't want to talk to us. They were like, okay, America's doing its own weird fucking thing right now. So we're just going to, Vladimir Putin's like, I'm going to go to war. Ukraine and Hamas, we're going to go to war. I don't even, like, the wars are confused. Like, is it Hamas in Ukraine?
No, so it's
Ukraine
Hamas
and
and Israel, Ukraine and Russia.
Okay, yeah.
So Hamas, Israel,
I got
Ukraine,
mixed
Russia. But it shows you, it's like when a substitute teacher is in the classroom. You don't have your actual teacher there, because the actual teacher is going to be more strict. They know the kids better, they know the classroom better, and the classroom can be this world environment. So that as an analogy standpoint, the actual teacher that's been with these kids from day one is going to know their tolerances. It's going to know what they want to do to get out of line, and it's going to snip that in the butt. And that's what Trump will do. That's what Trump did in 2016 to 2020. Any sort of country that got out of hand, he snipped it in the butt right away before it got too far along. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, weak leaders. They are like the substitute teachers that don't take control of their classroom. And this is the effect that we have now.
That's a great analogy. That's perfect. Like, yeah, 100%. We got some noise going on. Sorry. It's a podcast. It's to be expected. But yeah, I mean, all of these countries now, China willing to make peace with America, or willing to work with America on trade and things like that. The Trump effect has a massive effect on the world already, and he's not even president yet. So that just shows you. I haven't seen anything new on Kim Jong-un shooting off ballistic missiles on election day. He was shooting off ballistic missiles in I think the Pacific Ocean. Probably just testing out his missiles in preparation for Kamala Harris to win. But now Trump's president. You don't hear anything about it.
No, and that's the point now with Trump getting into office. You're going to actually see him sit down with these other world leaders and talk with them and get peace deals to go. I remember in his first presidency, he did the Abraham Accords, which was a huge peace treaty for the Middle East, stopped all wars that were going on there. They didn't have any sort of debts, anything like that. The terrorist attacks went down, I believe 90 to 100% they went down. I mean, it was insane what Trump did. And I think that he's going to be able to do that again. And as you can see right now, he's not even technically president yet, and he's still getting these world leaders to kind of calm down a little bit.
That just shows you how much power this guy has, and it's absolutely, I feel safe. I really do. I feel like, Hamas is calling for the war to end. Vladimir Putin seems like a dangerous guy, and he's willing to make peace and talk to Trump. Like, I feel safe. I feel the world is actually gonna be safe. And when he's saying make America great again, make America healthy again, make America wealthy again, make America safe again, replace the word America with world. Because yeah, I mean, we're really making the world great again, making the world healthy again, making the world safe again. Like, do you really want to be you feel comfortable in your bed at night, right? Because we're in America, but anything can happen. On the other side of the ocean, we have wars breaking out, and it's just absolutely terrifying that if we get involved any little bit, or if they come over here, things are just gonna take a turn for the worse. And so having Trump as president, having a powerful person in office to put an end to all of that, just makes me feel safe again, and it makes me want to have kids and be like, okay, we're safe.
It's like settling down. It's going into it's a ripple effect. The president of the United States has always been the most powerful position in the world for many, many, many years. So the leaders that take that office, that take the oath, they have to be strong, because if they're not strong, as you can see from Joe Biden, and like we just talked about, wars are going to break out. Things are not going to be under control. Trump is a very strong person. Interiorly, he has a strong attitude. When he got shot in Butler, Pennsylvania, he didn't just break down, start crying like some of these liberals would have done, run away. No, he stood back up, said fight, 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 and he kept going. He wanted the people to see him, even though he was shot in the ear and he was bleeding a little bit. He wanted the people to see him, that he was okay, and he was still for us and fighting for us, which he said from day one that he would fight for us.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like, he is a fighter, and he is gonna fight until his last days. Like, this guy is a successful businessman, politician now. he's just success written all over him, and that's because he is a fighter. He does not give up, and that's who I want leading not just the country but the world, because like you said, the American president is the most powerful position in the world. So Trump having this effect already, he's not in office, or any president really. I mean, things started taking a turn for the worse when Joe Biden won, and he wasn't even president yet. And so, yeah, it's just great to have him back in power.
And I have something up from Reuters here now. Reuters, from Palestinians dismayed by Trump's win, their leaders urge peace, and this is the start of it. Palestinians locked in war with Israel for more than a year expressed fear at Donald Trump's return to the White House, while the leaders of the militant group Hamas and the Palestinian Authority urged him to act for peace. So these people inside these countries already want peace to start, and they know that Trump is a strong leader, and they know that he's going to get things done. So not only do you have the American people believing in Trump that he's going to act, now you have other world leaders and other people from other countries believing in him that he's going to act.
Yeah, I mean, during Trump's campaign and all of election year, really, I saw a couple of videos on social media of people in different countries having parades for Trump. It's not just American, conservatives, people that like Trump in America, but there are other people in the world that want Trump in office because he's going to make the world safe again. These people just want a safe place to live, and I think they deserve it. A lot of these countries, they're living third world style. They already, it's already a struggle, to get food and water and shelter. It's so sad. It really is. And then to throw a war on top of that, it's just it's despicable. There should be no place for war at all. I make a joke about it all the time, but we're in the digital age. We should just go to war on Call of Duty, like one big Call of Duty match. Like, why are we still, flying lead at each other?
Yeah, and I want to bring some up here. Another thing about the Trump effect, going over the stock market. And from November 5th to November 6th, November 5th is election day, and November 6th, day after, stocks rose almost 2,000 points.
Is that what that is?
In the day.
Screenshot that.
Yeah, that is this big line that just jumped up the very next morning, and it was as soon as the stock market opened, and it shows you that the people are excited. They want to buy into the economy now, even though Trump is not yet in office. From the day that he takes office on January 20th, the stock market is going to go up again.
That is absolutely beautiful, dude. Yep. The economy is already starting to improve. That's absolutely insane. I didn't know that. That's really, dude, I just cannot wait. I cannot wait for $1.80 a gallon for gas. Cannot wait, because it just adds up, right? And it's a struggle, for I'm not medium class or middle class. I am low class. Like, I don't even have an income right now. So it's hard. It really is. And you have these illegal immigrants walking across the border, and they're getting handed money and a free place to live. Well, I got to pay $2,000 a month in rent, and it is just a very difficult thing. And so I'm really excited to see that improve.
Yeah, and going on with the illegal immigrants coming in, they're getting better treatment than Americans, who have grown up and have, they've been in families that have maybe lived paycheck by paycheck, and these illegal immigrants coming in, and that's the key word, illegally, and they're getting handed money, 5-star hotels in New York City. They're getting bussed out to all these places, and they're getting all this free stuff. And these Americans are suffering now, especially the ones that went through the hurricanes, both through Helene and Milton. It's insane to look at that. And that's our government. That was our government when Kamala and Joe Biden's in. When Trump is in, that's not going to happen.
No, definitely. I mean, look at what Helene did to North Carolina. I mean, absolutely devastated. I mean, not just North Carolina, but some of Florida and Georgia, but North Carolina, there's a whole town that got wiped out. You saw that? Literally a whole town just completely devastated, like a earthquake, hurricane, tornado, all happened at once, and it's like a river now.
You had areas that were like normal everyday downtown areas, like where the area that we live at, and then you see videos of just several hours later, and it's a full blown river through that. You have no buildings up left anymore. Facilities are down, power lines are down, no form of communication at all. And going into that, Trump actually asked Elon Musk to send in his Skylink or what
Starlink,
Starlink to actually help the citizens there, to get them internet connection, to get them in contact with family members again. And that is our president is still helping people, even though he wasn't in power at the time, but he's still trying to help us.
Yeah, he wasn't even president. He calls Elon Musk up. I heard about this thing called Starlink. What is it? And Elon's talking to him about it. And then he's like, you think you can get it over North Carolina? And I remember watching Trump's rally. I can't remember. It might have been the one where he went back to Butler, Pennsylvania. And he was like, as he was on the phone asking him to get it to North Carolina, he's like, it's on its way. Like by the click of a button, Starlink was on its way. And he wasn't even president. And that's how great, I think Elon Musk and Trump, they have a great relationship. It's going to be, like Elon Musk said it himself, this is going to be the greatest, and it's not quote, like I don't know exactly what he said, but I remember I just saw a tweet from him the other day. It's going to be the greatest generation of humankind or something like that. And moving forward from, where we were to where we are now, moving forward, it is going to be great, because if something like that happens and we need Elon Musk to jump in, or even Bobby Kennedy to jump in with the health crisis, I think we have a strong standing team now, and it's going to be absolutely impeccable. And I don't know if you knew this, but when Elon sent Starlink, I could be wrong, but I think I remember seeing somewhere, and I could look it up while you go into your next point. I think the government was like trying to get them out of there. Like they didn't want Elon getting, but you can go into your next point.
And going on with the government trying to not have that happen, FEMA, it was reallocating assets away from where most of the damage was. You saw Apache helicopters, blacked out, no markings on them, flying over these resupply areas, pretty much these areas where people can come to for food, for basic necessities, and essentially blade washing, down washing the area, destroying the whole area that has all these supplies. And it really just shows you that the government, at the Joe Biden, Kamala Harris government, did not care about you. They did not care your situation. And it really shows. And now you're going to see a big difference when Trump is in office. He's going to reallocate assets to actually help people. God forbid there is going to be another hurricane that will come and destroy areas. He is going to immediately allocate assets to those areas and help people as much as physically possible.
Yeah, like here's, the administration we have now, your house gets completely annihilated. Here's $750.
That's even if you can apply for it. Internet was down. How do you even apply for that?
You can't. Yeah, it says Elon Musk slams FEMA over Helene response in North Carolina as SpaceX looks to set up new Starlink. So basically FEMA and the government, they were trying to hamper, claiming that it was blocking shipments of Starlink satellite internet deliveries in hurricane. Like why? Literally why? Because SpaceX isn't a government organization. You don't want anyone else getting involved to help. Listen, if a disaster happens, people help people. People help each other. Okay? It can't always be the government coming to assist. Like if something happens and the government, like if my house was getting, or if my neighbor's house was getting robbed, like I would try to help them. Like as a neighbor, I'd be scared shitless, but I have guns. I would try to help them, and not just wait for the police to get involved. Like who knows how long? Apparently the police were trying to, or threatening to, arrest people that were helping. I think there was this one guy, I think his name is Cletus McFarland. He does like car videos, and he has a helicopter, and he went to North Carolina. I think he got threatened to go to jail if he went out on his helicopter again and helped, which is so sad, because I thought I saw a story this guy was this family was left on a roof, and they went out with the helicopter. They saved the guy's wife and kids, but they didn't have any room left in the helicopter, and they left, and he waited there for them to come back, and that's when he got threatened to get arrested. So it's just sad. Like, people help people, and that's what Trump was doing. He wasn't even president. He's not even president yet. And Elon Musk, you know,
And I think that it speaks volumes, is because, you know, as a good moral human being, you want to help another person out. You know, if you see them in danger, you see another person that is suffering in that moment, you know, the gut instinct for a good person is you want to help them, you know, immediately do what you can to help them. It goes back to the point where when you were talking about, well, if my neighbor is getting robbed, you know, I want to go help them out because I'm going to be the first line of defense. You know, police aren't going to get there for, you know, 3 to 5 minutes potentially, depending on how far they're away, dispatch times, all that type of stuff. And I think that's why every American should be taught how to use a gun, how to protect their family, protect themselves, because in the end, if someone is going to try and mug you or do anything to you, it's going to be within a matter of seconds. It's not going to take minutes to rob you. It's not going to take minutes to, God forbid, someone try and hurt you or kill you. It's going to be seconds, milliseconds, and you have to react. You have to know how to react in that time. So I think that making sure Americans have guns on them, know how to use them properly in the right situations, is going to be a good thing. I saw that the other day on Newsmax that Trump wants to have reciprocity for concealed carry in all 50 states, which will be amazing, because now people who are going from one state to the other, reciprocity now is by state here. So you may drive through Georgia and be fine from Florida, but then you go up to New York, and if you're caught with a concealed carry handgun on you, whatever it is, you can go to jail for that. So I think having reciprocity in every 50 states for concealed carry is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think that will be a very big step in ensuring people's safety, because you know, you have single mothers who travel with their kids, and they're traveling up north or they're traveling wherever, you know, and you know, let's say the single mom is, you know, comfortable with carrying a concealed weapon and she wants to carry it with her across state lines. She should be able to, because when you're a single mother, or even a single father, or just anyone in general, if you know, you don't want your safety to be compromised, especially when you have kids with you, or just in general. So I think it's really good.
And it whenever you go outside, and so you know, my line of work was law enforcement, the last line of work, and you know, we were taught, you know, many things, from how to, when you go into a building, what's your exits, what's your opportunities for, you know, someone to potentially come out and surprise you, where's your retreating points, all that type of stuff. And even to this day, whenever I go and sit in a restaurant, I always go and face the entrance, because that's going to be, you're going to see the suspect, you're going to see them first coming at you. I rather see the threat before I can't react to the threat. You know, if I can see the threat, I can react to it, at least have a chance to protect myself and protect a loved one from, you know, not paying attention. You see people on their phones, you know, all day long. When we go shopping, you know, you see people walking down the street on their phones. I'm always looking up. I'm looking at people. I'm watching their hands. But that's just how I was taught and trained. So it's you know, it's ingrained in me to do that. But I think that's a good thing for anyone to teach themselves, is those self-defense type of scenarios.
Yeah, 100%. You want to be prepared. You want to have the proper precautions and the proper hardware, the hardware being the gun, in place if something were to happen. I'm not saying everybody, if you aren't comfortable with guns, that's fine. Like, you don't have to carry a gun. But safety is number one. We want to make sure people are safe. And so that would really be good to be able to, you know, carry over state lines and things like that. Anything else you want to talk about We're at looks like 54 minutes right now. I mean, we can keep going if you want. I don't care. I'm gonna grab another drink though.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
I should actually make sure the camera's still recording too. You never know. It's probably been cut off.
Hopefully not. Hell yeah. I'm good. Thank you though.
We're Mountain Dew in this household.
I'm more of a Dr. Pepper,
I
but
like Dr. Pepper.
but I will drink Mountain Dew if I cannot have Dr. Pepper.
Yeah, I was watching the Theo Von and Joe Rogan podcast, and they're sitting there. They're some crazy dudes, man. He's like, you want to hit? Joe Rogan's like, you want a hit of anything? He's like, man, you got a vape in here, nicotine, man. And he's like, no, man, but I got, you know what smelling salts are?
Yeah.
Oh my God,
man.
dude, they're sitting there. Like Jesus.
I went to the gym.
I would never.
Oh God, it was like 2 months ago now. Person had smelling salts with them, and it was insane because all you need is a little tiny hit of that, and it's just you're good to go. Like I think this guy, he was on some type of steroids or something like that because he hit it, and then he was squatting like 500 something pounds in the gym, and I was like, no way, this dude is natural.
Dude, I couldn't absolutely never do something like that. That shit makes you wired. I just couldn't do that. I do my nicotine. That's about it. I'm actually going to quit the new year. So I'm excited about that. I want to make, having Trump as president, make America healthy again. I want to stay healthy, and shit like that. But this podcast is going to be up on Rumble soon. Rumble's a little bit difficult to set up, and their uploading is kind of weird. But so hopefully it'll be on Rumble soon. Anything else you wanted to go over?
I think that once we get a couple more podcasts out, I think that traction will gain, especially if we put it on Rumble too. Rumble is, is right-leaning conservative based, which is great. This is what our podcast is at right now. And, YouTube, having a schedule put out is going to be great. And just gaining more traction with this. This is definitely something new for me. I'm amazed that we can do this and we can bring good, reliable information to people. Even though we're starting out small, we're always going to get bigger. So
yeah, definitely. It takes time, especially with YouTube. YouTube takes a long time to push your content. But I've already seen a couple comments on our videos. We can go over that here. Let me see. Go to YouTube here. So, on our one video or one podcast. Well, we have a short up right now, the YouTube short, and you have a comment on there, and then someone else commented on it that says, what'd he say? He said, yes, right-wingers, terrible people. Yeah, right-wingers aren't killing themselves and their families.
Yeah, we actually have our heads screwed on right, so.
Yeah. But don't get me wrong, there are extreme rights. Don't get me wrong on that. But our video or election day podcast, which you will see a significant difference in the editing in this one and then this one. This one I wanted to get out. I couldn't edit to my full potential with this one because I wanted to get it out on election day. But this one, I'm going to edit tonight and have it out. So look out for a podcast every Monday. If for whatever reason we can't get a podcast out on some weeks, just look out on our YouTube community tab. And I'll be sure to update you guys. But yeah, we got 10 subscribers right now. So hit subscribe if you are new here. That would mean a lot. And hit like too. That helps boost us in the algorithm.
Yeah, I see this one over here. No idea why this was recommended to me, but I like to comment on smaller channels. Keep it up, guys. I'll sub. And I've seen that with the YouTube algorithm with videos that have maybe like 15, 20 views, and the channel is super, super small still. They'll actually put it out on like the For You pages and stuff like that. You'll actually see it pop up, and every once in a while I'll look at some of the videos if it looks interesting. So that's probably what ours is going to be for a little bit till we gain traction, which is fine. But that's good that the YouTube algorithm is going to put that out.
Yeah. But we have 2 comments here that are saying, so sorry about the dog in the background. This comment is saying, no idea why this was recommended to me. And then this person from Apollo Beach, which we're from Florida too, so that's pretty cool. Love this concept for the pod. I'm glad the algorithm brought me here. So the algorithm's pushing us a little bit, which is pretty cool for
It's
YouTube.
cool.
Which is also, it's YouTube. Why, it's pushing a conservative. YouTube's weird.
Hey, Elon Musk, maybe he'll buy out YouTube. You never
Dude,
know.
Elon,
That would be great.
I doubt Elon's watching this, but if you do,
That'd be awesome.
I'm gonna make this a short and put it on X for Elon to watch. Dude, Elon, if you're watching this, literally buy YouTube, bro.
Please.
It's probably worth way more than Twitter was. Though.
Oh yeah, for sure.
It's owned by Google.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude. I think that's pretty much it for this podcast. I'm sorry, there's a bunch of background noise. I'm sorry, but
I think we did good. I think we talked about a lot of good points here, and then of course the next one. I think we can end on this too, going over the House votes here.
Yeah.
Let me see over here. Let me go to the House. I'm on Fox News's application right now, pulling up the House race results, and it looks like at 10:03 p.m. our time, there was another Arizona District 1 that was called for us. So now we have, at this point in time of recording, 214 to 203. We need 218 to have a majority in the House. I do think that we're going to get it. It is going to be a little bit close. I'm kind of guessing it's going to be 218 to 212, 213. I think that's where we're going to end it on. But we are super close, so I think that within the next week or so, we're going to know if we have the majority.
It looks like definitely a tighter race than the president, but it looks like we're in the lead now, so hopefully it stays that way and we get the majority and we win it. You said we need 218?
We need 218 to win. 218 to get the majority. So, and I think we have a couple more states that are going to be called within the next week or so here. There's one more district in Arizona that needs to be called, but it's 52% now for leaning red. But yeah, I think definitely we're going to get the House majority. We already have the Senate majority. Popular vote is on our, and of course we have Donald Trump now going to be inaugurated on January 20th. So good times, very, very good times for us.
Good times. It's good times.
He was too big to rig.
Too big to rig. Absolutely incredible week it's been. Donald Trump is president of the United States of America. Once again, America is going to thrive. It's going to be the golden age of the United States, and I just couldn't be any more thrilled. So if you are enjoying the podcast, if you're new here, welcome. Happy to have you here. Please hit subscribe. We're at 10 subscribers right now, which is pretty good, considering the channel is less than a week old. So definitely, I hope you guys enjoyed. And like I said, we'll do a podcast every Monday or drop one every Monday. So if there's a Monday we can't do it, I just want to reiterate, check out our YouTube community tab, and I will update accordingly for you guys. But definitely, if you enjoyed, hit subscribe, share with your friends, cats, dogs, family, whatever. Hey, send it to your liberal friends. Maybe they'll change their mind and vote.
Definitely, and this will start some debates amongst friends, family, and coworkers. Potentially, definitely share it with them. I think this is going to be a great podcast, and we're happy that you're going to be watching us, and you're going to be along with us for this ride. I think it's going to be really cool. See this channel grow, and I'm happy to work with you, Brandon. I think we're going to do a great job.
Yeah, dude. We've known each other since high school, and we did some silly little videos in the past, like little skits and shit. So this is gonna be it, man. I think this is gonna really be good. And I have another channel I'm almost to 10,000 subscribers on my other channel. I'm at like 9,411 as far as I remember. I'm trying to get to 10,000 by the end of 2024. So feel free to check it out if you like gaming content. I have that channel linked in the description down below. So that channel is definitely growing, and I'm going to use that channel to help promote this one too. So it's going to be exciting. Also follow the Front Porch Podcast on X. I'm not going to make a social media page for any other social media. Like Instagram and Facebook, they'll just shut us down. But X, freedom of speech, baby. Elon Musk, follow us on there. Our at or handle will be on the screen. It's at TFPP official. But yeah, the link to it is in the description too. But follow us on X, subscribe to us here, and just let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. And we're not afraid to debate. So if you want to comment something, go ahead. Feel free to. And yeah, I think this is going to be great, man.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do a great job. And comment, we'll try and comment back. Debates in the comment section. That's that's what we want. We want people to talk about this, and that's gonna help get more of our content out there as well. So,
hell yeah, I think that's gonna be good. I think this one's gonna do well with shorts. I'm gonna have a lot more shorts to post. I didn't post a lot of shorts with this one or the last podcast because again it was
time crunch.
It was after the fact, so it just wouldn't make any sense. But yeah, if you enjoyed, I know I sound like a broken record, just hit subscribe and like. Probably said it too many times, so people are probably annoyed. But yeah, we'll just see you guys next time. We'll see you on next Monday.
Yep, see you next time.